I think we'll go ahead and get started. Thanks everybody for coming out today. My name is Lindsay Savoy, and you are here for 12 out-of-the-box affiliate promotions. Today we're just going to kind of go through different ideas that can help you recruit and activate your affiliates. I work as a merchant development manager for sharesale.com, and I constantly get the questions, how do I get more people into my program? How do I really motivate them to get started? I always tell them, try a promotion, and they always follow up with the question, well, what's a good promotion? What works? So I can't really tell them the exact answer there, so I thought maybe we would develop a panel and they can answer all these questions because they have the expert experience. So we're going to be having questions on the Twitter feed, or let me pull up the slide. You can text in your questions or tweet at Affiliate Summit and just use the number listed up here. We'll be checking back on the slide, so we're going to do questions throughout. So after each section, we're going to go through and see if you have any questions so that we're on topic. And let's go ahead and meet our panel of experts. So first we have Missy Ward, who I'm sure that you all know from Affiliate Summit, but I will give you a brief intro anyways. So Missy Ward is the co-founder of Affiliate Summit, Feedfront Magazine, Geekcast.fm, Velocity NYC Press, AffStat.com, and AffiliateMarketersGiveBack.com, amongst many other things. In addition, she's also the co-publisher of RevNews.com and RevNews.org, and manages multiple affiliate sites of her own. Next, we have Jamie Reardon here at the end. Jamie is a digital marketing manager for LifeLock Inc., the leader in identity theft protection. And she is, her expertise includes acquisition and retention marketing efforts, partnership marketing, content integration programs, and affiliate marketing. And last but not least, we have Jared Saunders. Jared joined Jensen USA in early 2007 and is currently the affiliate program manager. His role, he is tasked with managing their affiliate marketing department, building and maintaining relationships with their affiliate partners, growing familiarity with the Jensen USA brand, collaborating with vendors, and finding new ways to let customers interact with Jensen USA, among many other things also. And I forgot to bring them up, I apologize. Okay, so today, briefly we'll go through the outline so that everybody knows kind of the general structure of what we're doing today. We're going to go through basically why do you need a bonus campaign? What are the real reasons that it's necessary? And we're going to talk about basically the types of standard affiliate promotions that are out there, so what people are currently doing and the standard structure of it, so that we can kind of build off of that into developing different kinds of out-of-the-box ideas to really incentivize people. And then we're going to go into our out-of-the-box ideas, followed by getting the word out. So how do you let your affiliates know that you're having this promotion? What can you do to really tell them that this is available and how they can utilize it for their benefit? And then how to analyze these results. So what works? You know, how can you make it better? What can you change to make one affiliate happier? And then finally, we're just going to touch on building a promotional calendar. So planning is so important in this industry, especially if you have seasonal types of products. So you need to plan well in advance for your entire year. So it's a good time to have the session, you know, it's the beginning of the year, you can start planning out your entire calendar for the rest of the year. So without further ado, we're going to go into why bonus campaigns are necessary. And we've got, you know, two kind of structures here. So general reasons why they're necessary, and also, you know, specialty situations. So we're going to start with the general reasons, and I'm going to go ahead and pass it off to Jamie.
Absolutely. So as most of us know, the bonus programs are used to really generate awareness with your affiliates and remain top of mind. I'm not going to tell you something you don't already know. You do a bonus program to keep in front of your competitors and differentiate yourself. You know, it allows us, it really allows us to get in front of those individuals in a bonus program. Everyone likes new shoes, Disneyland, or golf clubs. So it's a way of truly like monetizing the segment. We want to do, we want to be in front of our distribution. If we're not in front of it, we aren't selling. So we want them to be thinking of us, and they want them to like doing business with us. So at any rate, again, it's a way of building the relationships, engaging individuals, and keeping people loyal.
Okay, great. And then, Jared, I know that you have done a lot with, using affiliates to get their links onto their sites a lot, right?
Yep. So in our approval letter that goes out, when we send it, there's two things that we do. There's a $5 bonus for both of them. The first one is your personal contact information. So I can get the ability to have their Skype, their Gmail, their GChats, whatever I need to do to be able to contact them. It's something that's quick, it's painless, and for them, gets them to interact with me, and I get the real email address. Because sometimes inside whatever network you're in, they'll have one email address that's the dump bucket for affiliate newsletters, but this personal one is going to be the one that they respond with. And the second is to help them put up links on the website. When you give them, I have another $5 bonus as soon as they have that email land. If they put up a banner or text links and show me where that is, in that same email that they send back, they send a link to it. So instantly, instead of, that program's a nice program to join, I think I'll get to it later, they see that there's an instant reward for them to be able to, I just have to give them my information and put up a couple links on that site and I get $10. And it's not a lot of money out of your pocket, and it's really letting them know you mean business. You're ready to work with them.
And you also try to, encourage them too. So you're really pushing them to get out there.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
When every affiliate that's out there, they're out there to make some money.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be honest. They're trying to fund whatever habits they have. They're trying to fund their websites, and they're trying to pay for hosting fees. So to be able to give them those bonus campaigns to kind of put that in front of them to exceed goals or even create goals. Some people come in and it's just a hobby. But if you put some type of small monetization step in front of them, it gives them an arrow to shoot for. In the same breath, though, we shouldn't look at using monetary bonuses as a sole way to motivate people. After a while, it's going to become a crutch. They're going to expect it, and it's going to wear out.
Okay. Thanks for your input. And then we also have a lot of specialty situations. And I know Missy works a lot with these. You have lengthy sales cycles. You've talked about, launching new programs, and then when you really need that kind of exceptional performance from an affiliate. Can you kind of share your experience with that?
Yeah, typically in the lengthy sales cycle, specifically for B2B, where it takes a lot longer to close a sale, having performance bonuses in that scenario really helps out. Additionally, when you're looking for exceptional performance during like seasonal times, or let's just say you get a surplus of product that has a short shelf life, like I don't know, Steelers playoffs t-shirts or something like that, you want to get rid of pretty fast. That would be a great time to use performance campaigns to help you out there. And especially when you're looking at launching a new program. Once you've done all your homework, you've got your site converting very well, you've also analyzed all of your competitors, and you kind of know you're converting around that same area as them, and you want to go out to affiliates. Well, it's pretty hard to get affiliates to try something new when they're doing really well with the program. Even if you are, converting around the same and paying out even maybe better, but those sales incentives at that time really help out too.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so general reasons why it's important. You heard a lot of really good answers. The next thing we want to get into is kind of what is out there right now. So these are, the standard things that people have done that I've seen merchants do, which are great, and these are things that you can certainly try. So we're going to just run through these so we know kind of what's out there before we get into the more exciting stuff. So the first one we have is, pay-per-click. So I'm willing to pay this amount of money for affiliates who drive, X amount of clicks this month. So what do you guys think? Does that work? How's it worked for you in the past? Are there disadvantages, advantages? What are your opinions?
Sure, absolutely. So we don't typically run cost per click campaigns in the affiliate program because the traffic's oftentimes unqualified and doesn't convert. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't mean that it's not a great model for another product.
Right.
I've done it. If I'm very familiar with an affiliate and I know how their traffic's converting, but I'm kind of used to what their traffic's going to be. I've done it with them. You typically have to have a history with that affiliate so you can understand it, and then it can work out really well. It also sometimes works out well when you have a very generic program. You'll find that there's a lot of PPC, a lot of cost per click type promotions going on when it's something generic like win a free iPod and they're just trying to capture an email address or something like that. So if you have a very generic cost per sale or cost per lead campaign, that pay-per-click, even sometimes unqualified, what would be unqualified traffic for people, it does work in those at those times.
As for myself, I've never run one of these. Working inside the sports industry, especially in cycling, where things are really technical, there's a lot of brilliant affiliates out there that can drive the traffic, but it brings down a lot of the conversion rates that I have inside my program, which can scare away other affiliates. So it hasn't been beneficial for me in that area.
Okay. And Missy, I know that since you've had some experience with this, is there a number that you need to put down? How much is this worth? And I know that everybody has to kind of determine this on their own, like how much money they have in their budget, but do you find that it's more expensive? You have to offer, $500 just for, a few thousand clicks, or is there a number that you put on it?
Well, I think almost everybody has to know what, any affiliate pretty much knows what their traffic's going to back out to on any given program. So it's really kind of, building that relationship and if they're a good affiliate and they're looking, to really do business with you for the long term, you can negotiate that rate into something that will work out for both of you.
Okay.
And just to add to that, I think a lot of it is beginning with smaller volume and seeing seeing how it works first. So testing it with
Yeah, absolutely. That's true. Okay, the next one we have is pay per sale, which I'm sure everybody's familiar with, but in the bonus sense, it's, I'm willing to give a lump sum of money to affiliates who drive, X amount of sales this month or X amount of sales in the fourth quarter. And again, advantages, disadvantages, your experience in the past with this type of promotion.
So for LifeLock, we absolutely use this program. It's a home run for us. It's a win-win. We're acquiring members and the affiliates are earning higher commissions. I think the key really is to create tiers around it so that you're just making sure that you're not flushing good money down the drain.
I think also the important thing I find that affiliate managers make mistakes is that they create programs that don't enable their a rising stars to be able to win something. So typically you always have your 20% of your affiliates that are going to kick butt on your promotion, and that's great, but there are a lot of people that would if you can create that type of promotion that also helps them motivate them to potentially be a really good affiliate for you, just keeping that in mind.
And I too have run these. One thing you want to focus on is like Missy brought up, is you need to find a way to target the full range of affiliates that you have. You've got super affiliates and power affiliates that can go out there and really hit those numbers that you're looking for. But you need to find a way to engage the middle ground. That's where a lot of your growth can come from. There's individuals there that are untapped and can be the biggest affiliates in your network. You just haven't motivated them yet. And to find a way to get them part of that bonus effort that's in there is vitally important.
Thanks. All right, the last one we have on here is pay for placement. So I'll pay you X amount for that spot. I want this spot on your website. And again, advantages, disadvantages if you worked with this one in the past.
Sure. So again, as far as LifeLock goes, we've certainly looked at it as a brand visibility push. An example for you, we had a contract with the Celebrity Apprentice last year, and it was a push with Reardon and LifeLock, and we were advertising a bundle, and we used the pay-per-placement to buy inventory that was really relevant to Reardon and Symantec, as well as the Celebrity Apprentice. So again, it's more of a push to make sure people are seeing a placement, but you have to be aware that it is oftentimes an awareness play.
I've done it before. I've paid an outrageous amount of money to place an ad on a site for a program, but I already knew what that affiliate was capable of, and it was a new program that was converting very well, and I wanted the spot where my competitor was. And I've done this 2 ways, where we've just outright paid for that placement. I've also done it where I gave it to them ahead of time in lieu of commissions. So basically, I paid them up front for their commissions, for knowing what they were going to, that they would definitely rock that ad. So it's worked out really well for me. But again, you have to really know who you're dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
Pay for placements, I also do. I make sure I focus on large brands where there's a lot of traffic. I like to put it on home pages to make sure that I can increase the traffic and awareness of my brand on that site. I also do co-branding, so our both logos are in the same one as well. A good example is podcasting. That's something where in cycling, if somebody's going to download a podcast, they're not going to be on a website. So that's something where I pay for a placement because I know that there's value in those podcast downloads where there's commercials for ourselves, but there isn't going to be a lot of traffic to the website. So, but mainly it's for increasing awareness on a specific website.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's the end of that section right now. So I'm going to check real quick and see if we have any questions that have come through. So if you have any on the stuff that we just covered, you can put them in right now, and we will get to some of those before we move on to our out-of-the-box ideas. Okay, any questions? Go ahead and put them up right now, and we will get to them right away. Minus those 2, those are my examples. All right, no questions yet? Okay, I'm going to move on to the next one unless anybody puts one in, and we'll get to the fun stuff. Okay, so for out-of-the-box promotions, we're talking about here building a big relationship with your affiliates. How can you get close to them? How can you impress them and make sure that they are an affiliate of yours for life? And they don't move because another competitor has a good program also and might be converting better, because they know that you are in this with them. So these are ideas around making sure that you get them in that relationship together, you activate them, you recruit additional people. It's kind of a method, to make sure you get more people in your program, but you take care of the ones that are also in it. Okay, so different kinds of bonus structures that we have all got together and talked about. We're going to start with the flat contests that you can do to run, monthly, quarterly, even yearly, to get your affiliates activated in your program and basically to reward them. So for flat contests, I don't know who wants to start, but I know that a couple of you have done these in the past.
I'll jump in on that one.
Okay.
For us, for flat contests, one of the ones that we were able to do is for a single largest sale during a time period, during the months of summer months, is when our business is at its best. And I challenged our affiliates to see who could get the highest sale, and that person would get a bonus. Ironically enough, every month it was a single guy blogger who did it for part-time that won every time. And it was because of the product that he was focusing on, and he wasn't active before those contests engaged. And now he's a consistent producer in my program.
Wow, that's great.
I think just something to put out there, the only thing that you bump up, your top affiliates, basically when you ask them to, increase, if you're going to say, whoever, I want to increase our sales 20%, well, your highest, affiliates, the ones that are making the most money, are bumping up against much higher numbers. You can't ask someone who's, bringing in 80% of your business to double their business. So you can ask your affiliates that are, making less to do that. So just one thing to keep in mind is that making sure that you structure a program that pretty much anyone can potentially win.
So in that case, Missy, would you do just 2 different types of campaigns, perhaps?
I like when I run different incentives. I try to do something so that pretty much any affiliate could win something.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to talk about some of these. I don't really like flat contests because, like I said, the first thing you hear is, well, I'm bringing in all your money, now you're asking me to double my business, and that's rough. But I think, as we talk about some of these, if you can figure out a way to integrate a number of these into one program, then I think you're going to be golden.
And then we talked about single highest, so we did single largest sale, most improved affiliate, and highest single commission, which Jared, you have done in the past also.
It's based on a time period, who's got the highest commission rate that's in there. This one is for the top performers, the guys that know they're in the top 10, that you're engaging, and they might even know each other. And that's where I kind of let them compete with each other, because when you get them to kind of get that machismo going, it kind of benefits the program without you having to do anything. And then you congratulate the winner and they have bragging rights against the other guy.
A little healthy competition.
Never hurt.
I think also some of the things that have worked out really well for me, again, to be able to have almost all of your affiliates be able to participate, is to do it via raffle. So, for instance, each sale generates an entry into winning whatever that prize is going to be, and that's helped out a lot too. I've also done it where with bloggers, where I don't want to hand them content so that every single blogger has the same piece, but I want to give them guidelines and create an entry for every time they put up a blog post that has all of the details that I want covered in it. So coupling, somebody who's making a lot of transaction obviously has a lot of opportunity to win, but it does give everybody a chance that's making any sort of sale for you an opportunity to win something, and those work out great.
And how does, you've done having unique posts and content updates, is it easy to monitor that, or does it take a little extra time because they're actually posting it up there and you have to read it and make sure that...
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these contests you do have to have the infrastructure to be able to do that, and I think we're going to talk about this later on. It's not just saying I'm going to have a contest, it's basically challenging everyone and monitoring every single day that you're running these contests, and we'll get into that. I think some of the things that I've seen as an affiliate manager with other affiliates is they come out gung-ho with this great program, and it sort of disappears within like the first 2 weeks, or they're not tracking it right. It's like we're tracking how many sales, but they can't actually track that, or they want to track mobile conversions, but they're having problems with their tracking. So it's a lot of making sure that when you do launch that promotion, that you are able to track it and also continually motivate the people that are participating.
Absolutely. And then there are all other types of setups. We have, first sale bonuses, tiered bonuses, which we kind of touched on too, new customer bonuses, and emerging channel bonuses also. And Jared, you've done a lot with the first sale bonuses, right? And that's worked well for you in the past.
First sale bonuses, I feel, are also part of that initial engagement process. Not oftentimes do I do like on the very first sale, but if it's the first or the third sale, so that way if they're doing a transaction to test to see if your program works, they're not getting an extra bonus for that. But when the second and the third transaction, and you send emails to encourage them on those, once they hit those marks and they see that, okay, there's money coming into the account, they like what's happening, they really start to move with it.
Would you say that's almost a required thing that people should do just to have out there?
I would highly recommend it. If you're not doing that to kind of get that extra engagement, you're going to be competing not with a competitor, but you're going to be competing with a vertical. You're going to be competing with me to get that affiliate's attention if you're not doing that.
And then Missy, I know that we talked about tiered bonuses a little bit too, and you've worked with these.
Yeah, I've used a lot of different tiered bonus structures in the past, and then one of the things that I tried that worked out really well, but again you have to have the staff to make sure that you're able to watch it, is actually paying that affiliate the promotion, whatever it's going to be, an extra $10 or a percentage of that sale that day, and then deduct it. It's deducted if, obviously for cancels and everything, but instead of waiting, to the entire promotion contest time ends, they have to wait 30 days, you actually drop that money in their account that day. And that's a big win too.
Oh yeah.
That's a big win.
And then new customers, I know Jamie, this is a big one for you. You do new customer bonuses a lot.
Absolutely. So as far as new customers, the majority, we typically pay on a new customer or a membership, but what we found to really work is if you incentivize one particular product. So for example, we just launched a new product, so if you increase a bonus on just that particular piece, then you're going to see more engagement there, and at the end of the day, that's what's going to generate the awareness. So that's really been helpful when it comes to the new customer bonus.
Absolutely.
I think also the one thing that is kind of neat is you don't actually have to, when you're planning a promotion, it doesn't have to be all types of traffic. If you're trying to get, your feet wet in mobile, maybe that contest is just for, emerging channels of media. So maybe your contest is only going to be for mobile traffic or whatever it's going to be, or using, any sort of social media tool. If you want to get your, feet wet in there, it's a great way to test that through a promotion.
Have you used the emerging channel for a program?
We're thinking about adding that right now for mobile. So.
Okay.
We'll
That'll be
see how it goes. I want to make sure it actually tracks right before
Otherwise, you're going to be really busy.
Yeah, they'll really get mad at me.
Okay, so those are the kind of structures that we have laid out, and so now we're going to talk about the prizes, which is one of the more fun things, I imagine, for affiliates and for merchants too, because you can get really creative with these. While cash is king, as they say, I know Missy says that.
Cash is king.
Cash is king. There are other ways around it. So if you're a smaller merchant, let's say, and you can't afford to just give cash for the bonuses, we're going to kind of talk to different ideas that you can use. While it still may cost you money, maybe it'll be a little bit more affordable, or you can convince, the upper level management that it's worth it. So the first one we have is different experiences. So paid trips to the headquarters for top performers, paid trips to affiliate summit conferences or industry conferences. Jared, how have you worked with this in the past? I know that this is one of your big ideas. You like this one a lot.
Yes. So paid trips to headquarters. For a lot of individuals that are in your programs, especially depending on how popular your brand is, to be able to have an individual who's just off the street come in and be introduced to the brand, the people that are behind the brand, how the brand operates. I'm going to call out somebody that I see sitting here. REI is in the house. If an affiliate of REI was there and be able to come in to the inside and see their marketing department and be able to see the warehousing and be able to see product development, it's more than cash. You're building a relationship. You're turning this person into almost an inside member of your sales force. And that's something that you can't give them with a dollar bill. Because when they go home, they're going to remember the flight that they had, where they stayed, the people that they've met, the pictures that they got to take. It's different. It's out of the box. It breaks them out of their normal cycle. And while it might be a little bit more than a bonus, for your top affiliates, I think it's vital to get them inside and to keep them active. Your top 10 affiliates should see your face and should know where you work so that they know they can always contact you and that they have a connection with you.
I agree. Have you done that in the past and brought people in and showed them your products?
I have. It's very interesting. So on my behalf, I've got an 87,000 square foot warehouse full of bike product. So an average retail location might be 2,000 square feet, 3,000 square feet. Mm-hmm. So for somebody who's interested in cycling to be able to walk into a store that's 20 times what their retail location is and see all the product, just their eyes light up. And they're like a kid in a candy store. And then they get to meet us as a marketing team, and email exchanges happen so much faster afterwards, and we're able to implement marketing campaigns very fast because we know these individuals, we have their personal phone numbers. It's more than just another face that's there.
Yeah, it's definitely more of a business partnership, I guess.
Very much.
And then paid trips to conferences like Affiliate Summit, Missy, which would, I'm sure, be helpful for some of your affiliates.
Yeah, I actually... there are a number of networks here that do really well by offering, they have a number of different contests throughout the year to bring their affiliates, and again, not just top affiliates, those rising stars that you really want to concentrate on because they can turn out to be pure gold. Get them at different levels and bring them to the show, not just this show, but any show, and to be able to they're able to meet their affiliate managers, they're able to network with other like-minded individuals, learn some things. Again, it is more than cash. It's invaluable networking opportunity and educational opportunity. So thinking about something like that as well has done really well for a number of the networks that bring a ton of people here. So
yeah, I can only imagine. Okay, so outside of experiences, we also have talked about doing different kinds of educational time. So you'll see up here we have IT tech time, personal site evaluation, or mentoring at affiliate summit conferences. So different educational things that you can do to help them, again, build the relationship so that, they stick with you. And shoot it over to Jared again for the IT tech time, because this is something you've done in the past also.
Yep. So with our affiliates, the majority of them are hobbyists on the internet. They're avid cyclists. But when it comes to doing the tech stuff, they're not up to date all the time. So to give them the ability where we do like a most improved, or if we have a smaller campaign targeted to that middle percentage and somebody wins, to be able to say, hey, here is my IT guy. We're going to go over your site and we're going to be able to implement new widgets. We're going to be able to put in a data feed that'll pull up product for you. We'll look at your overall SEO on there and see if you're tracking properly, or if there's anything we can do to get your page ranks higher. For them, it's just something that's out of their box. They can't do that. But by doing that, their website becomes more efficient. It produces more. The traffic is higher. Again, the relationship is stronger because you've engaged with them and you're helping them.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I know we talked about, you did personal site evaluation and then mentoring also.
Yep. So personal site evaluations, it's something that doesn't take a lot of time. You can even send off an email that says, congratulations, you've gotten a couple hours of my time to help you out. It doesn't sound like a lot, but for somebody who's new into the industry, that they just signed up for your program, they're like, oh, that's great, I get to spend a couple of hours, set up a Skype call where you can talk with them, go over the website, their format, how they're operating it, things that you feel might need a little bit of attention that might be distracting from becoming a success.
And something they might not even know about.
Right, and that's what I think a lot of people run into. They don't know what they don't know. And
Exactly.
Sometimes I take it for granted that I think, everybody knows this. And if you have that opportunity to just say, here's, if you make 2 extra sales this week, I'll give you an hour of my time and we'll go through your site and we'll see if I can help you. And, you drop one little golden nugget on them, they're like, you own that affiliate. You own them for a while. So it's a great way to really get hands-on with them.
Oh, absolutely.
And that feeds into mentoring at Affiliate Summit. Like Missy said, having people come in. I don't know about you, but this trip I lost my wingman, so I'm feeling a little out of sorts. But when you have somebody here with you, and likewise for a new affiliate to show up and there's 5,100 people here walking around, but to be able to know that you've got them under your wing, you're walking around, you're introducing them to people, names, faces that they may have seen on blogs and Twitter feeds, and understand what the value is of this individual, to have them there to teach them and just break the ice with them, make the introductions for them, teach them, you should really be going into this other conference instead of this one. I think you'll get more out of it. And it's a big help for them.
Yeah, and you guys have a session like that here too, so you get the mentoring here, and then you get, your personal side buddy, which, is always helpful. I'm sorry you don't have your wingman here today. Okay, more prize-worthy things. Prizes and gift, always fun. A little different ideas here than your standard prizes. We've talked about, pay for site hosting, which Jared, this is something you have done in the past also, lots of experience with, and new hardware, American Express gift cards, which Jamie will touch on in a minute, and then also, your product, your service. You can give that away for free. Why not? If they need it, if it could be useful.
So jumping right into it, so we talked a little bit earlier about sometimes money isn't always what people need. Sometimes it is, and if you've got a relationship and know that, and they're okay with getting a cash bonus, that's great. But really becoming a business partner and getting involved in that individual's life really helps guide that. It also increases the integrity of your own program, because people will talk about who you are and how you can help them. So paying for site hosting and registration fees, for a merchant, that's not a lot. For a WordPress blog, it's $100 for their premium thing on that. It's like $6 a month for their hosting fees. It's not a lot for us, but for them, that could be the decision between, am I going to get those new biking shoes, or am I going to pay for my hosting, kind of thing. You don't have to think about it, and they will really appreciate it. And that's something that you can do for a greater amount of affiliates, because it's a smaller denomination monetarily. The other one is new hardware. Give you an idea. This is what I consult on, is this small computer. A lot of our affiliates are working on small little netbooks, And they don't have at your office. You've got the dual screens and the big tower. A lot of you have corporate contracts with Dell, HP, or whatever. You can purchase these computers for much cheaper than they can and send it to them. And have it set up so they open up the computer and it might have your company logo on the screens when it turns on. For them, it's going to be amazing. They're going to sit down every day when they go to do something, and they're going to interact with you. Even though it doesn't have your brand on it. Whenever they touch that keyboard, they'll think of you. And they'll remember what you did for them. And that's more important than money.
Didn't you also do something with a high-tech mouse or keyboard? I think you told me that story once.
Yes. on one of the earlier slides, there's a picture of a mouse. It's a $200 mouse. It's a gaming mouse. And it's got like 16 different buttons on it. And I've got an affiliate that is a total tech geek. And that was just he had done very well that month, and I wanted to kind of give him as a prize. And I gave that to him. He still flips out about it to this day. And it's the little things that matter. I mean, we were talking on the phone call with Missy when this happened, and
yeah, I know. I guess the most important thing is really taking the time to understand your affiliate, because I do go back to cash is king. I still stick with that because there's so many affiliates that are just getting started that, an extra $200 or $300 might make the difference to them of, putting their kid in soccer camp for a week or something. So while I think a $200 mouse would be cool, it's really understanding.
He doesn't have any kids in soccer.
It's just really getting to understand what your affiliates need, and also knowing you don't have to put out a contest that covers all of your affiliates. You can just do spot promotions, and knowing what motivates them and having that connection is really what's going to put you in the front of their brains instead of your competitors.
And even as cash is king, I know, Jamie, you've done the Amex gift cards and the product or service, the LifeLock service I think you've done before. And that's something that they might have to pay for, but you're saving them a little money and protecting them also.
Absolutely. Again, I agree that there's no harm in giving out money, and you can do it around the holidays when they're really looking for it, or do another promotion that we'll do a number of identity theft protection products that we'll send during Identity Theft Month. Another one of my ultimate favorites is just providing your service for free. There's no way better for your affiliates to learn what your product really does unless you can really put it in their hands and they can walk through it, and then they're able to really speak to it. And if they don't know the product, they really can't sell it and market it. So that's one of my ultimate favorites, is if you can go ahead and get the product out there to them. It's one of the best.
Yeah, and then they can review it and give honest feedback, and they know how to promote it better.
Exactly.
Okay, and then more of the non-traditional bonuses. I don't know if anybody's seen yet, but ShareASale hands out giant checks to their top 1% affiliates. So it's not really a bonus, but it's more of a thank you. So we hand out these giant checks for everybody, and it gets us some press, but it's more the relationship building. And if you see anybody walking around with the giant checks, that was one of our kind of promotions for the year, and people seem to appreciate it. They like it. It's a fun thing to get, and it's always something you can laugh about too.
They just take it to the bank like that?
Yeah.
Walking with a giant check?
Well, we have these giant checks walking around, and we're like, well, we can pass them out at Affiliate Summit, but nobody's probably going to take it home on the plane, so we had to buy an extra set that we will send later. Okay. So we were talking about no reversals, and Jared, you have a little experience in this, or have some good advice on this one.
Yeah. So for no reversals, it all depends on what your average price point is for what you're working with. Sometimes not doing any reversals isn't going to work. For example, in my vertical, I can sell a $5,000 mountain bike. Mm-hmm. Commission on that's going to be $250. So not reversing that is going to be tough. But I can go and say, all right, if there's any commission of $50 or less, I won't reverse that ever. Mm-hmm. And that kind of adds integrity to your brand as well, that people know, even though there's going to be some types of fraud that pull through, unless it's, so for $50, it's got to be at least $1,000 sale. which isn't an average sale. It's going to be an out of the woods kind of case where I find my fraud prevention team will find that. And that's where you also have another opportunity to go in and go, okay, I need to let you know that there was some fraud found on the account. It was for commission in the amount of $75, but here's an opportunity. If you make a couple extra sales this month and work with me, I'll bonus you that $75 at the end of the month. Because I still have to take that money back just for my own accounting purposes to make sure that I don't let fraud money go through. But I can put that bonus campaign right next back to it to kind of refirm up that relationship.
And would you guys say that, the no reversals kind of bonus would be more effective in, a high season for you? So if it's the fourth quarter, that's your highest season for, Christmas, or if you're a Halloween merchant, would you say that that is more, I guess, effective, so that you can say, I know that you guys are going to work really hard this month, so for that month, I won't give you any reversals, except for in the case of the special circumstances?
Yeah, that's when people are probably investing the most, they are investing the most amount of money and time and effort, and they would feel the benefit the best. To know that even with their best efforts that they're putting in there, they don't have to worry about that amount that they see checking in every day not being there on the 20th. It's very important.
Okay, and then we talked about doing increased commissions, during product launches, which Missy, you have worked with people in the past on.
I think, when you're, even if you have a brand, a established program and you're introducing a new product through that program, it's increasing the commission on it right out of the gate. Has helped me dramatically. It might be for the first 90 days. We've done it for the first 30 days. And it's not going to be your typical standard commission for the rest of the program, but it at least helped open up the eyes, or potentially, get people into it for longer. And honestly, for the folks that wound up really promoting that new product, I kept them at the higher commission rate all, for the rest of the time.
Well, that's a nice surprise. Okay, so those were the, provide site traffic. I don't know if we did that one. Jared, you were going to talk about that one also.
Another good thing that you can do is you can have an exclusive review or comment of product that you have on your site that's new given to one affiliate. You give them the opportunity, and through your own email blast, you can say, if you want to find a more detailed review of what's happening, go visit xyzwebsite.com and check it out. And that allows them to get a natural lift in traffic from the stuff that you're sending, and then they'll be able to remain some of that traffic for people who really enjoy the site and liked engaging in it.
Absolutely. That's a great idea. Okay, so those are the kind of prizes that we had all discussed and brainstormed ahead of time. So kind of the formula, just to keep in mind, pick out your bonus structure. What are you going to do? Is it going to be a raffle, something standard, or just a flat contest? And then what's your prize going to be? Are you going to do different tiers for the different affiliates? Are you going to do cash? Are you going to do something more personal? Kind of figure out how you want to structure it. And then, you have your out-of-the-box bonus idea, and hopefully it'll help you, create this relationship with affiliates that'll be long-lasting. And the next thing we want to touch on is getting the word out. So I have all these great promotions. Now what? How do I tell people? This is, one of the bigger issues, but there's a lot of different tools out there that you can use, and we talked about a lot of different ones when we met before this. So what are your guys' ideas? How do you get these out to people so that they know that it's even there?
Sure. So an example here, again, I'll go back to something that we've done recently, and with Celebrity Apprentice in Reardon, we went ahead and did a promotion for 3 weeks up to us being on the television show and having a bunch of people on the show running around trying to find a way to market LifeLock and come up with a bundled package, which was obviously entertaining for the whole group. But long story short, before the promotion, we thought a great way of really getting it out there was integrating our affiliates with it and making a contest on their side. So getting them excited about it, but also using both online and offline advertising to really bring it full circle. So in part of that, we used Facebook advertising and targeted Celebrity Apprentice fans and users. We targeted Reardon, Symantec users as well, or fans, just to make them aware of it. And then it was somewhat a gift to the affiliates too, because it was something that was, again, supporting their overall promotion. So that, and again, embedding viral videos. We included our affiliates' names in the videos and sent them out to them. So every step of the way when they're watching the video, their name is there, and at the end we're announcing a contest. So it's a way of just keeping the attention.
And then there's, different forums.
Yeah. You know, I've leveraged a lot of the forums that are out there. You know, there's the Best Web, there's the Affiliate Summit Forum, there's Wicked Fire, there's a bunch of different forums that you could use to get the word out. I've also, recently I sent out an email for actual customers, not affiliates. Sort of like, I think a lot of affiliate managers miss this opportunity to, you know, if people are buying something from you and they love your brand, they're really good people that could potentially sell your product to someone else. So going out to your customers and reminding them that if you like our product, you can also sell it. And by the way, if you become an affiliate right now and you sell our product, we have this promotion going on. So that's another great way to get it out there too.
And we like to use our company blogs, affiliate blogs, Twitter and Facebook to let people know what's happening. When you sign up for our programs, you'll get my Twitter address, and I'll be launching and informing people of what's coming up, what's happening, what inventory, what deals we're going to be doing, or what promotions we're going to be running that they want to be involved in. And also, if you have people's personal email addresses, that's a big one because you're not dropping it into the affiliate newsletter bucket. You're actually going to land in their inbox and know what's going to happen.
Okay. Those are all good ways, and we talked about a couple other ones. So between just doing calls, doing webinars, doing direct mail, I know Jamie has done a little bit with in the past also.
Absolutely. So especially around promotions, sending out a travel gift or sporting events, it's a really easy way to take an image and put it in a direct mail piece. Or, for example, creating a box and putting a grape in it and make it a trip to Napa that you send to them. Exactly. So again, just out of the box ways that you can help support what you're doing digitally.
And I like to use Skype to call people. It's quick, it's easy. You can see me. We get to have FaceTime, and I've got the vast majority of the affiliates in our program on that, so they know that anytime that I hit that call button and a call comes in, for them it's kind of like the bad phone. They know something good's happening.
Yeah. And then advertising, we have advertising and different email notifications that people can do to really get this out also. So Missy, you've done a couple different network ad placements that have worked.
Yep. You know, if you're advertising on networks, that's a great opportunity to do that. I think when we launched the Affiliate Summit program on Share a Sale, we had a great advertisement right when affiliates logged in, and that was awesome. That was a great recruiting tool. The other things that I've done is there's some heavyweight bloggers that if you put anything on their site, you're bound to get a pretty good return on it. So working with some of the bloggers in our space, that's a great opportunity to get the word out. Absolutely.
And then Jamie, you actually did pay-per-click to get the word out to some of your affiliates too.
Sure. So if your success metric is engagement, it's certainly a way to go. You obviously need to have very targeted inventory to do it, but again, if you have a great, well thought out landing page with a great promotion on it, again, a great way to quickly drive traffic.
Absolutely. And then the different email notifications. One of my favorite ideas was your affiliate newsletter one. You've done a lot with those, getting the promotions out in different newsletters, whether it's with your own or through a network newsletter.
Yeah. And then also taking advantage of non-competitive newsletters as well. If you have folks even in here where you can drop a small text ad at the bottom of somebody else's newsletter and kind of cross-promote each other's programs that way. That's also a really good opportunity to do that too.
Absolutely. And Jamie, you use company newsletters too, right?
Sure. So it's very similar to what Missy just said. It's just a broader range of people. So you may have all of your employees, your partners, and then your affiliate's on there. But as long as you're covering off on like the big points, like the product, what's going on in the field, product launches, you're in good shape. It's, again, another vehicle to reiterate your promotion at the same time.
Yeah, all good ideas. And then the next fun one is analyzing the results. So did it work? How can I change it? How do you know if it worked? Jared, what's the metric for you?
There's a lot of them. You've got to look at your active affiliates. Inside, a good example, inside Share Sale, it'll tell you how many affiliates are active during a specific day. During a promotional period, what I'll do is I'll get a 90-day period beforehand and be able to count up how many affiliates were active in that time period, and then I'll look at, okay, how many were active on a daily basis, did that increase, and then over the 90 days, how many affiliates were active in that time period. If you get a good engagement with those affiliates, you'll see those numbers tick up. And that's always important, is that active base. What % of your affiliates are active? You may have 5,000 affiliates in your program, but if only 1% of them are active, it's not going to be doing very well for you. But if you have 3,000 affiliates and 800 of them are active in a given 90-day period, you've got a really good base to work with. And it'll show that, and why I say 90 days is over 30 days, you're going to get people that are fairly well in what they're doing, but over 90 days, you're going to get the people that have potential. And that's the list that you need. You need to find the people that have potential, that aren't doing things every month, that can then become engaged and move in. That's at least the threshold that I found that's really effective.
That's great.
I think something you have to keep in mind is, was the promotion that you did right for your business? At the end of the day, the new sales that you brought in after you paid out all of the bonuses or done all the giveaways, you've taken into consideration all the time you spent, getting the word out on it, the advertisement, your accounting people that are really excited to track all of these things individually for you. At the end of the day, when you lay out all those numbers, was it right for the business? Did you make any money? Or are you looking at it more of like the lifetime value of the new customers that you're potentially bringing in? The other thing, there's one other thing I wanted to say, but I'll get back to it in a second. But it's I think a lot of people don't take into consideration all of the time that's invested in these promotions. So just to remember to include that when you're doing your calculations.
Absolutely.
I mean, we had a little equation on that on that screen a little bit earlier. Sales and engagement. How engaged are your affiliates? How many sales are they doing? What kind of traffic are they bringing to you? How is that affecting your branding? And that should be the benefits that are there, and the underlying is, what did it cost for me to do that, and how much time did I invest in getting that done? And that will come up with a real value for you. You'll be able to see, okay, and a lot of people don't put in their time, but as we all know here as affiliate marketers, it's not a 9 to 5. We say it is a 9 to 5, but how many of us have smartphones and check our emails at home? And it's an obsession with us. So you've really got to evaluate your time as well to figure out what the true value of it is.
Absolutely. And sorry, Jamie.
And just to add what Jared and Missy said, at the end of the day, you have to look at the ROI on it. We did a double your commission campaign about a year ago, and it was a success, but it brought in a lot of illegitimate, fraudulent type orders. So if we were to make changes, we would segment it to just our top performing publishers. But again, we just have to sit back and assess whether or not it was something that made sense as far as.
I think I find a lot of folks that aren't really familiar with really getting into the deep metrics of their program. They see that they may have hit their goal with launching new affiliates and getting new customers, but they're one-time customers that don't buy anything again, or credit card fraud, or whatever the case may be. So you just really have to get into all of the analytics for it, otherwise you're just wasting your time.
Yeah, it's very important.
And there's that point of diminishing return, so you just have to know when you hit that.
And Jared, you had shared a couple graphs, and I know we have 5 or 10 minutes left, so if you wanted to talk about those real quick. I have the gross sales one up.
Real quickly getting into this. This is in sharesale.com. They've got
That's a very scary graphic.
Yeah. I like visuals. I'm a lot better
You should see
looking
the
at
next one.
graphs than I am numbers. So for me to be able to do what I've done is I've built a very small Microsoft Excel file that allows me to pull share sales or any company's metric reports out, and it just dumps it into a quick graph for me to be able to see what happened last year or last month over this year or this month. This one, it doesn't show it on here, but where gross sales is, there's actually a little menu button. So I can pull down and flip through and see, all right, did the clicks do well? Did the gross sales do well? How did it convert? How many active affiliates are there? And compare it month over month or year over year. This particular one, I believe, is my year-over-year result for what was happening over or just before Thanksgiving, if I remember correctly. It helps me see the peaks and the valleys. Sometimes we can see that there's a big peak coming up that we need to hit, and we need to put in promotionals for it. As you can see, this year I didn't hit my peak. I'm not perfect, but I will say I was helping get a new website live. But these are little things that we can do. If you want to flip to the next one. This one is a month-to-month one that lets me see what happened in the past month and what's going to happen in the next month. Again, it helps you show the peaks and the valleys and the cycles of what your program is doing. And it's very important to see these, because when you see them, you can plan ahead for them. You're not flying by the seat of your pants. You can get a promotional calendar set up to know, okay, in 3 weeks I need to do this, in 4 weeks I need to do this. And this is kind of a little an idea of what the promotional calendar that I'm working with is. I'm going to be at Affiliate Summit this week, but on the Friday before Affiliate Summit was happening, I sent out my newsletter with a bonus campaign in it after the new website launch, to try and get people active and engaged and working with affiliates to try and get new traffic to come to my new site. And you need to have these things set ahead of time. The more planning that you put into it, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Plain and simple.
Okay, we've got just a couple minutes left, so again, plan. We had a couple things for you to consider. You can read through those briefly, but I wanted to open it up to any questions that people may have, so we're going to go back to the question section. So let's open up to questions. We've got about 3 minutes left, so feel free to put any in and we'll help you out. You can also shout out your questions if you want, if that's easier.
Yeah. There's a mic in the middle of the aisle if you want to walk up to.
No questions?
No questions.
Okay.
All right, well, thanks, guys. Thank you, Missy, Jamie, Jared. Thanks, everybody, for attending today. Oh, go ahead, sorry.
I just wanted to point out on the non-traditional promotions you were speaking about before. You mentioned the non-reversible commissions for that month. That would probably propagate a lot of fraud. So I would just you hit a target. If you hit a target, we then give you that promotion.
Yeah.
Just to minimize it with that that qualifier.
That one typically isn't something that I will send out an email on beforehand. I will know that it's going to be a no reversals month, and I'll let them know ahead of time, because, as you said, if you do let them know too much ahead of time, they can pump traffic through, but it is something you need to monitor.
Right.
But for me, like you said, it comes down to that $50 line of commission. If it's $50 or less, and it's a fraudulent transaction, it's better for my relationship with my affiliate to not reverse it. Right. It's just a cost of doing business, is the way I look at it. If it's over $50, then that's where it becomes a point where I need to open up a discussion and let them know. But if you look at your own program metrics, and if you always see affiliates getting these voided notices that their transaction and their commission has been taken away, it's going to have a negative effect.
Right.
So just work with caution, find out where it works. But I agree, you do still have to be careful with it.
We did have one question come in real quick. With commissions and promotions, any advice around how often you can make adjustments? Do affiliates get upset with changes? Is there a sweet spot?
Wait, you mean how many?
How many promotions you can do?
Okay. Well, I worked for a CPA network a while ago, and we did one quarterly. We never had a quarter where we didn't offer some sort of promotion, and we changed to quarterly, and that seemed to work really well.
Okay.
I agree with the quarterly promotions, and intermittent promotions for specific affiliates. If you have somebody that you want to engage, don't worry about a calendar or a timeline, just engage them.
Any questions?
Hi, sorry. We're fairly new to the affiliate space. We have about 30 or so publishers in our program, and just a handful of them actually give us any significant sales and new customers. I'm sure there's a lot of the rising stars in that mix. So how do I figure out, or how do I weed through the affiliates that we have or the publishers that we have to figure out who those rising stars may be?
Are you talking to them on the phone? Are you communicating with them?
Not really. A lot of the
you got to start there.
A lot of the contact information I have are the general network email addresses.
I think the best relationships that I had with all my affiliates start with actually getting to know them and getting on the phone and understanding how they're doing their business, where are they getting their traffic from their site, knowing what motivates them. I think you really have to do that before you should even, consider doing any sort of promotion for them. Okay. I think that honestly, if you get them on the phone and they're, I wouldn't call them on Christmas Eve, but when you can create that conversation with them, it's a good start.
Okay, anything else? All right, well, thank you everybody for attending. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.